Live in Ketchikan is the only show of its kind dedicated to our town. This is the television show that spotlights all that happens in and around Ketchikan. Live in Ketchikan is your resource for all good things local.
Totally cool. The 4th of July icon.
Oh, wait till this 4th of July. This is all for the parade, you know, mostly, so.
Oh, you are my kind of guy. You start building your float way early.
Well, I have to, because it's going to be pretty cool.
So tell me what's going on here, because everyone knows the tank, and it looks like you're doing a major expansion.
Well, actually, this vehicle is a 1956 Saracen armored personnel vehicle, and these vehicles have been used in film over the years because they're kind of they're an easy armored vehicle to get. This vehicle right here, one just like it was used in the Judge Dredd movie, the original one with Sylvester Stallone. So in that movie, what they did is they built this cowling for it that gave it a future science sci-fi look, very sloped, angled edges, almost like a stealth fighter. And so that's what we're doing. I've got some plans here.
Oh wait, that's cool. Let's see those.
Of the actual vehicles used.
Oh, let's hold that up. That's really neat.
In the movie, and that was the best one of the movie. They made a total of 4. Here's another one. This one actually still exists in England. It's over in the UK right now.
Oh, that's so cool.
But we're modifying it. We're going to make it a little bit better. Here's a side view of it.
That's so neat.
And so then what I did was I computer designed my own plans.
Oh, neat.
Because I wanted to take that and just make it even a little bit cooler. And this is kind of rough, but then what I did is I built a frame out of wood. And the reason I did that is because it's a lot easier to cut wood and a lot cheaper to cut wood than it is to cut steel. So I made this whole thing out of wood, all these pieces, and I made them out of dimensional 2x2s, which I can get the same diameter steel tube. And then I used hardy board or hardboard to make the actual
I'll get out of the way now.
armored pieces that will go on it. So,
Now, will this never be steel?
oh, it will be. The whole thing will be steel.
Oh, okay. Okay. So will this go on and then come off, or?
Oh no, this is just my template now.
Oh, okay.
I've built this whole thing, and I've actually just started dismantling it in the last few days, because what I'm doing right now is replacing the wood parts with the steel parts.
Oh, cool.
So this will never be an official part of the vehicle. It'll just be used when I put it on the steel sheet here to cut my template. And once again, it was just because this has so many complex angles in it, and to try to get that right the first time with steel for me would be beyond my skill set. So I basically cut and cut and cut out of wood until I was able to get just the right angles. So we're going to have we'll have a ballistic piece of glass up here. We're still going to maintain the armor integrity of this vehicle. So there'll be plate steel all around, ballistic glass up there. On the sides, it'll be a honeycomb style mesh protective window. And it's going to be outfitted with all kinds of lights and different things. So for example, this is one of the windows right here. It'll be going on there.
How long have you been working on this?
A couple of weeks now.
That's it?
Yeah. And then this is going to be part of that window there. But these will be covered with a mesh and those type of things. But yeah, once I start on a project, I really like to finish it. So
do you ever go inside the house?
not until late at night. But yeah, so I got this part done last night, which was the one half of the frame. I'm working on the other side tonight, and then hope to have most of this frame done by Sunday. And then from there, just start putting the armor on and lights. And
So what are any of these what they would say aftermarket? Have you? Well, yeah. Well, that's Napa.
the light is. This originally came with the headlight, of course, but a Napa light fits in there, fortunately.
Perfect. Cool.
And
This is so neat. Now I got to ask from the get-go, what made you purchase a tank, and where did you find it?
the thing actually that made me purchase it was a couple years ago. There was 2 officers that were gunned down in Hoonah. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I do.
And I was on that one, and we were out there at the scene trying to get that guy out of there. Spent a couple days trying to get him out, and we had to actually be in a position where we were keeping our eyes on his house. He was held up in his house. And I started thinking at the time it would be really nice for the department to have an armored vehicle, because at least, you know, we wouldn't be out in the open. So I started kind of researching them, and I found this one at a militia compound down in Minnesota, believe it or not.
No way.
And in its original configuration, it wasn't a very good vehicle anymore because of its age. It was leaking
Come on down here. You know,
a horrible amount of gear oil. It was breaking down about every 10 miles of use. So I took this vehicle into Alaska Power Diesel, and Steel Shrum over there basically completely changed out the engine transmission in it. So now it's officially the fastest light tank on the planet.
So was that like the weirdest project he's ever worked on? Did he make any comments to you?
It's got to be one of the weirdest he's ever worked on. I know it's the first tank he's ever worked on. So he had it in his shop from October of one year to May of the next year.
Whoa.
So
Holy smokes.
yeah,
So,
a lot of work.
Now you got it, let me go back to the militia compound. So you got it from a militia compound, but there's another kind of really neat twist to the story. You guys were approached about being on Doomsday Preppers. How cool would that be?
We're in the running for Doomsday Preppers, so we're giving it our best shot.
All right, so what do they say to you? Is it all about the tank?
You know, I think that's a good part of it, because as far as they're concerned and we're concerned, this is about the most ultimate prepper bug-out vehicle you can find.
That's awesome.
It's equipped with gun ports, grenade launchers, a nuclear biological detection device inside. It can hold 10 people. It's got water supplies, food supplies, ammo stores, 2 gun electro locks in there. It's outfitted very well.
I gotta be honest with you, when I see this thing rolling down the street in the 4th of July parade, I'm not thinking all those things are inside there.
Yeah.
Not even possible.
No, it's well, you know, it's an actual military vehicle, and all this is armored plate. And in the 80s, it was called Up Armored for the Irish Republican conflict over there in the UK. And what they did is they put an extra layer of armor on this thing and added over a ton of weight to it. But right now they say that it will withstand an RPG round, a 20-pound landmine, and all armor-piercing rounds, including 50 caliber.
And who's gonna be invading our island anytime soon?
Oh, I don't know.
We don't know, just in case.
But it's fun.
Yeah.
You know, it's fun to own it.
It's a cool hobby. It's a very cool hobby. So you're gonna get done with this on Sunday. Any last touches?
Well, no, I'm going to get done with the frame on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Putting all the sheeting on, the windows. I got to put a radiator type grill here for heat dissipation, a few things like that. That'll take me a good couple weeks.
Oh wow. Okay.
But we definitely want it done for the parade, and if I'm lucky, I'll have it done for the NRA banquet in April.
Do you ever just like drive it down the street for fun?
Oh, I do.
Just to shock people?
Well, not necessarily shock them, but I just enjoy driving it. And I like to pick friends up when they come in, fly into Ketchikan.
No way.
Yeah.
Do you ever take it on the ferry?
I haven't yet, but I'm going to here on the 4th of July. So I've got some friends coming in around that time. And the top of the turret up there.
Can you imagine if you're a tourist coming in that day?
Well, when we have it parked at the tattoo shop downtown, it gets non-stop constant photographs.
That is so
of us.
cool. That is so cool. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh, no, I was just going to say the top turret, the back of it folds down for a seat. So people really enjoy going up there and sit while I drive through town.
That is awesome.
But it's fully street legal. It's insured through State Farm.
Well, now, how did they give you a quote on that?
Well, they said actually that they have about a dozen of these across the country that they insure.
Really?
Mm-hmm. The nearest one's in Fort Lewis, Washington. And insurance on this is cheaper than on my regular cards. It's only $300 a year.
You're kidding.
No. I think they figured that there's not much I'm going to do to damage
Yeah,
this
but do
vehicle.
they make you have a bigger liability because you could damage a lot of other things?
No, because I think they realize it's almost a historic vehicle, and I'm not going to go out and drag race it, and it's probably not going to be driven very much.
Right, right. You're not going to go out and blow things up.
No.
Well, that's really, really interesting. Huh. So
Okay.
are the guns on this, are they original?
This gun is not original. It originally came with a Browning 30 caliber machine gun. We upgraded it to a Vulcan 20 millimeter cannon. So that's an actual cannon barrel. It was a used one that I was able to find on the East Coast, but we installed it in the vehicle. And then all of these are grenade launchers here. There's 3 on each side and then 4 up there. They still have active switches on the inside, so theoretically, if I could find a grenade, it probably would still work. But I think at some point we're going to turn these things into what are called cryo cannons, where they shoot out pressurized CO2. It makes it look like a big jet, kind of like at a rock concert.
Oh, neat.
And
That is so cool. That is really cool. Well, I'd like to see the inside at some point,
okay.
and I would think that I want to see the final. I want to go riding it.
It's really cool. Yeah, let me go get the key for it. And
Oh, you want to go now?
well, not ride now,
I was
but
gonna
I'll
say.
take you inside if you want to
Okay,
look inside.
awesome. Can tour.
Yeah, I think this is the toughest vehicle in town right now.
You know, though, I wonder how many people, because I hear the commentary at the parade when we're up commentating on the parade. I hear people, what it's like in there? What's it like in there?
Well, we like to go to the mall and take kids out for a ride because kids absolutely love it. And there's really nothing they can hurt on this vehicle. It's pretty tough.
Well, I should hope not.
But this is that extra layer of armor that I was telling you about, because initially when it was built down in the 50s, this was enough for the threats of the day, but then they had to put this extra layer, and this is it's called an AR-500 steel. It's just an armor plate, super hard. All of these things are what are called vision blocks, and it allows people inside to look outside fairly safe. The glass is several inches thick, and it's ballistic glass, so it's pretty tough. But then in the vehicle itself, let me turn some lights on here.
Well, this will be interesting. And it has lights on the inside?
Yep, let's see.
Cool. I feel like I'm in a jump seat. Like, where's the parachutes?
Yeah, you can see up behind you, there's 2. These are electric locks. They've got a magnet lock on them. One is for an AR-15, one is for a...
Which you actually have in here.
Yep, one's for a combat shotgun. These vehicle seats open up. So, yeah, we're able to put quite a bit of extra ammunition in here. This is for the intercom system right here. These are a few of the grenade launchers right here on this side of the vehicle. The turret right here. This is it's a method for engaging the brakes. So you can basically lift up on this. The turret rotates around. There's a periscope right up here. So,
This is so cool.
you can turn this thing around and basically look out the periscope. So it's really cool. Ballistic helmets, emergency escapes on both sides. This is an actual tank paddle from an M1 Abrams military tank that we were able to find at a surplus site down in Florida. And it says everything from nuclear alarms to grenades, fire warning switches, those kind of things.
And it's operational.
Well, it's wired in. Some of this stuff is not operational on this. So.
Okay.
And then this is a control panel off the Canadian tank here for an air defense system.
Oh my gosh.
And obviously I don't have the missiles or anything, but it lights up, it's pretty cool. And then this is for handguns right here. It's a safe for handguns. These are all called small arm ports. They come down so that people can fire outside of them. And that's pretty much it. It's got a backup camera system in it so that I can see who's behind me.
Yeah, right. No doubt. That would be helpful. I see one modern looking piece of equipment up there.
That's the camera for the backup.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't want to back up traffic while I'm driving down the road because I really don't like to drive it very fast. Even though it'll go fast, it just has a lot of weight, so I wouldn't want to go fast and then have to stop fast.
That would be very unsafe.
Would be a bad thing. So.
This is so cool. This is awesome.
Yep. Yeah, when I had all the wood armor on up here, it made it look like you were sitting in a TIE fighter. So once I get all that finished, it'll have a TIE fighter effect. It'll be really cool. But yeah, feel free if you want to go
What an unusual hobby. This is so cool.
Yeah.
Now I want to go sit in the seat. Oh my gosh. It's like a tight fit up here.
Yeah, it's kind of, and it was even tighter before in its original configuration.
Holy smokes.
We added a little extra room. But
Wow.
that front armor pulls up. It drops down so that you can drive it in a, non-dangerous environment, have a little bit more to look out. But believe it or not, you can look out through that little vision block and actually drive the thing pretty good.
Cool. And the wheels are really, really big. So is it bouncy or is it just so heavy it's really stable?
Well, it's very heavy. This thing weighs 22,000 pounds.
Wow.
So
It's pretty cool. This rocks. Best hobby ever. Well, we just have so many interesting people in this town,
that's one of the reasons why I got stationed here, because I worked here in the early 90s. I left, I moved around Alaska, and I missed this town. This town, people do things in this town.
They sure do.
I mean, other places, not so much, but here, I mean, people are very unique and talented.
And it's all over the map.
Yeah, it really is.
There's no rhyme or reason. There's no central theme, because you can always find someone who's done something just completely that you would not expect. Like this.
Yeah.
Like this.
Well, this is the only one of its kind.
This is super cool.
Yeah, when we get it running, even the center tires, we put them on a special switch so I can flip a switch and they all rotate off the ground. I mean, it's just really cool.
That is
It
so
has
neat.
so many little features like that. Yeah,
You just have multiple projects going on.
I do. Yeah, and I've made this available to both KPD and the troopers. If we need it, it'll be there. There was a barricaded subject we had here a month or two ago, and it was close if we were going to bring it. So
It shows yet another cool use for it. You got kids, parades, possible law enforcement use.
yeah, the department can't afford to put one of these, an armored vehicle in every small town. So, but yeah.
Super cool.